Just some extra perimeter punch to go along with all this defense.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of firepower that would sneak in there nicely.
Davison. Saville on a good cut. Good hands. Gets a piece of that. Ubaka got to create. Pulls up for his shot. That's off the mark, and another good stop for the Gold Coast Blaze. Just not giving up anything.
Yeah, the energy from the start, and with every player that has come on the court, it's like it's contagious. And when you keep that sort of accountability at this sort of level, it's exciting basketball to watch.
It has been just that. First half of basketball from the Blaze is completely taken Wollongong out of anything that they're trying to do. Ken Hudson comes up with a blank.
Big fella's not happy.
It took a while for him to...
It was a delayed reaction. It was like he looked at him and he wanted to shove him. There's got to be frustration in the Wollongong camp. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's been a long, unsuccessful year for them so far, and that's just built up frustration, Steve.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Yeah, I mean, you try and turn your frustration into something positive with some intensity and some execution, running the floor and just taking stuff personally. Let's see if that happens for Wollongong. Saville runs into two defenders. Conrad on a closeout by De Leon. He comes up short. Petrie can't get it. Ubaka gets it back. His shot is blocked. Blaze are everywhere. Even when they give up an offensive rebound, De Leon's got space, gives it to Hudson. His floater is long.
You can't push Sav on his 500th.
He just did.
Come on, Peach. A little bit of feeling.
The ref's just trying to keep this thing under control. That's two possessions in a row where the tempers have flared. We'll get another look. Let's watch Petrie and Saville down low.
I'm not sure what Sav's talking about. He grabbed him and he threw him.
Yeah.
That's a foul.
Well, he must be feeling that he's going to get a certain amount of love on his 500th as well.
And when you're down 18, it's your 500th. Saying, come on, fellas, turn a blind eye to that.
And 17, and 17.
Double foul. Petrie's long. Worthington just getting into the mix.
Felt left out. That can't be a scuffle without me.
He just got a run and start in on that one.
Well, we're certainly not troubling the scorers so far in this second half. Got a pair of donuts in the first minute and a half.
Ubaka trying to get us underway here in the second half.
Nice right.
Conrad backing down.
Oh, no!
Gibson. That would have counted.
I've already made the call, mate. What do you want me to do? I'm coming out here. Two boys. Let me have a look.
Enough's enough. The refs need to step in here, make a scapegoat of somebody.
Yeah, somebody's getting attacked.
I got the first foul. One, hold.
We'll have another look. It's Davison and Petrie.
Enough.
Well, man, Davison just can't throw a guy down like that. I mean, these have all been pretty easy to call. One guy's throwing somebody down.
Real easy to call. Tony McLeod needs to get Davison out of the game because that was just silly.
Well, tempers are flaring here on the Gold Coast because the Blaze have put on a basketball clinic against the Wollongong Hawks, 47-29, and we'll see if these tempers will flare.
Ashley & Martin is Australia's most trusted medical centre for hair loss. We're at the forefront of hair loss technology and can do what most can't. Guarantee results. Call today and enjoy the confidence tomorrow.
Kendall Strickland was attractive. Other girls were so insecure. However, being that beautiful could also be intimidating.
I would keep all of this to yourself. I would find a therapist.
Young adult, now showing.
Welcome back. And, man, Joey Wright was absolutely hammering the Blaze, just torching him.
He was going off. I've got my headphones on. I could still hear him from here. But what we're talking about, Steve, is that the Wollongong need to be able to show some passion, some effort. Larry Davidson throwing a guy to the ground when they've already got a foul called for their team, that's not going to get it done. No. Go and get a good rebound. Go and set a hard screen. Go and do something that is going to be proactive to help your team win. That ain't going to get it done.
No. Well, he's got a seat for that. He can go cool his heels a little bit. Maybe this game can take some type of shape, which it has not.
What's being called? Why is he shooting free throws?
Because he was fouled by Adam Gibson on his shot. I don't know what happens with the Larry Davidson incident. He threw someone to the ground.
That's an intentional, unsportsmanlike tech, whatever you want, right?
I'm interested to see what goes on afterwards. Nothing. He just goes and has a seat to calm down.
Rightio. I'm going to start learning these rules. Travel, unsportsmanlike. Little zone action, a little bit of intensity from the Wollongong Hawks in their little 1-2-2 zone.
Martin, tough one for you back at a handle, and he throws it away. Didn't get any help from the bad pass by Martin. De Leon gets all the way to the rim. Just a little too hard. Didn't get any touch on that one. Ibaka steps out of bounds first.
So the Blaze have to be careful here as well. They had the momentum. They were playing the style of game they wanted. And again, that last play from De Leon came down, no passes, got that shot up. They probably just need to get back to the style of basketball they did, take a couple of deep breaths, and execute in the same sort of fashion they got them that 17-point lead.
Let's see if they can refocus on this possession. A little under 7.5 to go here in the third. Hudson. Petrie. Another subpar possession for the Blaze, but Wollongong haven't been able to make them pay. Ibaka steps out of bounds. You can't argue with that. I think he had 2 feet out of bounds. He was way out of bounds. We'll get another look as he backs up. We don't get an opportunity to see it, but he had at least 1 foot out. His whole foot, not just a heel. Gibson steps into a 3. That never looked like missing.
But see, if you're Wollongong, you would rather that. They were stagnant, the Blaze. They had hardly any ball movement. Wollongong took away their options like the Blaze did to them in the first half.
But the lead is 20 now after that Adam Gibson 3. Wollongong coming up with blanks. Tyson Demos is short once again. Here come the Blaze and crowd getting into it. Skip pass to Gibson. De Leon creates space, finds Petrie. And he runs over Oscar Foreman. Foreman takes one right in the chest.
Good penetration. De Leon, too. Really found a gap against that zone, and that's where you want to do, where you want to go, right into that paint and that free throw area, make the defense collapse, and all of your options become apparent.
You get another look at it. Probably didn't look like a charge because Foreman didn't flop, but he definitely got thrown out of the way.
I think it was a good call.
Yeah, I thought so, too.
And again, Oscar Foreman trying to go down the sideline rather than trying to get that ball in the middle against the zone.
You know why I like that call so much? Because it was the right call, and Oscar Foreman didn't have to flop to do it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean,
his intention was to be able to play between his man and the basket, take the contact without having all of a sudden to just collapse.
Worthington to Gibson. He's off the mark. A lot of commitment on that rebound by both teams. They were swarming. Ibaka. He's wide open. Everybody just left him. He comes up short. Gibson, 1-on-3. De Leon on the skip. His floater. He's fouled by Oscar Foreman. He'll go to the line for a deuce.
Well, the positive for Wollongong is they have held the Blaze to only 3 points in the first 5-odd minutes of this third quarter.
What's the negative?
Well, they just haven't been able to take advantage of the stops they've got to be able to translate into easy baskets the other end. They've only scored 3 themselves, one themselves.
That's not good.
Well, I was starting with the glass was half full, Steve.
Yeah, I could tell. Just wanted to make sure you got to the bottom part of the glass.
Oh, you just emptied it straight out again.
I couldn't help it.
I'll be getting hate tweets from Wollongong.
Boy, the Wollongong are just wearing the paint off of the iron, off of the rim.
Well, shooting 30% from the field, Steve, for Wollongong. It's just not going to win you any basketball games. Not at this level.
Extended pressure by the Blaze. Martin's got to get it up and get it up in a hurry. Gets it up to Matt Campbell before the 8-second violation. Campbell. K-Tron. Got to make something happen. And he did not.
It's going to be a long year and a long last quarter and a half if you're going to rely on getting baskets out of that sort of move.
Worthington with a left-hand hook. Rebound. Gets to Stephen Hoare. Block shot by K-Tron.
Sneaky Steve Hoare with a little sneaky steal.
Just hanging around.
Just lurking. Whack, steal, straight to the free throw line.
He's not in the play. All of a sudden he is. You know who was really good at anytime he was around a loose ball and picking it up was Dwayne McClain. If he could get his hands on it, it was his a lot.
Some people really just have a knack of being able to do that and come up with loose balls where you don't think they've got an opportunity to be able to get it done. That's a skill. There's no doubt about that. It was something that I was good at.
No, me either. Campbell gets it after Reese Martin barely stays on his feet. He looked at the ref like, what do I got to do to get a call?
I actually think K-Tron is better than what he's shown this year. Yeah. I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, you know, whether the system's not right, whether he's just out of shape and he hasn't been able to find a way to be able to get that done. But he's got to be better than this.
He's shown flashes of a guy that you have to guard from the three-point line on in. He's shown post moves. He's shown he can create space off the dribble, but I think it's a fitness thing. I honestly do, because you can't be a consistent scorer unless you are in peak fitness.
No doubt.
Kadig to Stephen Hoare. Great pass by Jason Kadig. Good heads-up play. Demos with De Leon all over him. Matt Campbell gets his first good look. That'll be off tees.
That's a good look for Matt Campbell. Hasn't been his night tonight. He's got a donut currently, but you know, he's only taken 2 shots. It's hard to get into the rhythm of the game when you only take 2 shots and they're spread out first quarter and third quarter.
Wollongong execute an out-of-bounds play from the baseline of their own, and Tim Conrad will go to the line for 2. Substitutions. Ayinde Ubaka comes in for Tyson Demos. Petrie comes in for Stephen Hoare.
You would have to think that this sort of performance from last week and this week from the Blaze will create bigger crowds. This is a style of basketball that, as a fan, you're proud to be able to come and watch and put your Blaze top on. They get you excited. You can see the passion and the energy and the effort. Anytime, I think, even if you lose games and you show those sort of traits, then fans will continue to come and watch you play.
No doubt about that.
Always helps when you get a W at the end of the day as well.
Yeah, that's icing on the cake. But you can just feel it, the whole bench, the coaching staff, the players are just coming in and rotating. Guys are running off the floor. Nobody's walking back and pouting like Westbrook from Oklahoma City. Jason Kiddee for 3. Somehow rims out.
Doesn't Jason come from great pedigree? You mentioned earlier Robbie Kiddee in the stands. Great player, great coach. How many Olympics did Robbie Kiddee coach at for women?
A good question.
And he had a stint with the Boomers. I know he was our assistant coach for the 1994 World Championships in Toronto, and he was just a great bloke to be around. Really good assistant, good communicator, man's man. Did all the work, had the basketball history, and earned the players' respect. And well, Jason's grown up with a basketball in his hands since
hasn't he ever? You go to the games at West Sydney. We would get there like 4 hours before the game sometimes, and Robbie was the GM of the West Sydney Razorbacks back then, and Jason was there every single time.
I don't think his body type has changed. It's just grown a few inches. He's always been that skinny, light little kid. He dances up and down the floor, but very passionate about his basketball, and I think he's got a big future ahead of him.
Always trying to talk you into playing a game of horse. He was about 8 back then.
He wasn't talking me into it. He was just going where he thought he could get a win.
Oh, he's looking in the wrong direction. He never picked one up.
I
tell you, I don't know what you're trying to get at, but he never picked one up here. Neither did Lauren Jackson.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Well,
I'm glad. What, are you dropping names now?
Well, I'm just saying, Lauren Jackson wanted some in horse as well as Devontae Tron. Yes, she did.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did.
She thought she could beat you in horse.
Well, anyone can think that, but she didn't get the win. I like her competitive spirit, though, but she lost, and lost bad. Jason Kiddee gets it thrown out by Devontae Tron. Mad too when she lost. Garlic gets it. Kiddee skips it to Adam Gibson. Oh, don't turn that down. Garlic. Shot blocked from behind. Martin spins. Trying to find a teammate. K-Tron with the lefty. That's good. He likes that left hand, doesn't he?
He's certainly got the touch around the basket and the mobility to be able to get it done. But I'm with you on that last shot for Gibbo. You want to see him be able to take that. You know, he's 1 from 3, hasn't really got himself involved in the game. Not trying to rush anything because the team's playing well. And there was a mismatch from Petrie underneath. But that's a shot that he needs to be able to step up and be able to make, and can.
Ubaka trying to get to the rim.
He's going to shoot that. It's a knack again that some people have got when you hear that whistle, even though you were going to be passing it or in a passing motion, to be able to change your mind at the last moment and throw it up. You're going to get a couple of free throws anyway because the Blaze was their 5th foul for the quarter.
Well, just touching on the Gold Coast body language, the feel that's going on, the crowd should be flocking in here. They've been up and down, but they've been solid over the last couple of weeks. And that comment you made about Russell Westbrook, when you on Twitter today, you weren't real happy with his attitude.
I haven't seen a lot of Westbrook, and I know he's a very, very talented player, but for me, I saw him come off. His team was making a run, and he was like 4 for 15 or something. He wasn't into the game, and he came off and left his teammates hanging with, you know, they had their hands out to slap him 5. He just looked like he was sulking a little bit too much for my liking. And Harden and their real superstar came through, but he was disappointing for me today.
Yeah, and you don't see any of that with a gold cut. Their whole bench is up. We're talking about the positive body language. That's why we're bringing up Russell Westbrook. But the positive body language of the Blaze is just a team effort. They just can't wait to be a part of it. Get out on the floor, cheering for their teammates, even if they're not coming in. James Harvey and Chris Golding at the other end of the bench. Adam Gibson. See, there we go. Bang. That's the shot that we're talking about. Ibaka just misses the handle. Blaze have numbers. De Leon throws it upstairs to Mark Worthington. He gathers it and lays it in. 22-point lead for the Blaze. As Wollongong continue to struggle to score. Demos for 3. He walks himself into that one as a better looking shot. Had some rhythm on it. Can't get it to go. Worthington's fouled by Ibaka.
It is very lucky for the Hawks that the Blaze went through a dry patch at the start of this quarter, because they've only scored 13 for the quarter, the Blaze. Otherwise, this could have been very, very nasty, if it's not already.
It is looking like the early stages of a huge blowout. Just got that feel about it, doesn't it? Just 1 quarter to play as we embark on the last minute of the third. Tease comes in for Adam Gibson.
Oh, and Joey Wright has gone deep into the bench with Zach Carter stretching, ready to be able to come. I think he's only jumped into 1 game so far this year. Talented young fella that plays the 3-4 spot. Bit of an athlete. He's been around the club for the last 3 or 4 years, and look forward to seeing how he goes tonight.
Joey Wright signing a multi-year deal. Got to start looking at the future.
Yeah, no doubt he'll be, planning what he wants to do for next year, and obviously, with high hopes of being able to win a championship this year. But as a coach and as a club, to have some sort of certainty being moved forward as we see another turnover from the Hawks.
De Leon's fouled pretty hard by Tim Conrad.
It's a good foul by Conrad. No easy baskets, particularly after you've coughed it up.
Well, he had Garlip. He wasn't wide open, but he was in front of him. Decided to go strong, not throw the questionable pass.
13 points tonight. Only 1 assist for De Leon. He's not a guy that racks up assists too much for a point guard and somebody that does penetrate a bit, but 4 from 8 from the field, 3 from 3 from the 3-point line. He's been solid tonight.
No disrespect to him, but he just doesn't seem like that type of point guard that knows where everybody is. He's attacking kind of a scoring point guard.
Yeah, but in saying that, I mean, like a Derek Rucker, he was a scoring point guard. He was an attacking point guard, but he could still get 7 or 8 assists a game. I agree with what you're saying. I mean, he's too hard to guard, not too hard to guard his pass.
That's true. I mean, that's such a royalty of somebody that can score as well as be aware of where everybody is on the floor. And those are the guys that are a nightmare to guard.
And it's a real trend in the NBA, isn't it? Scoring point guards, guys that can go and do that. You see them rack up assists. And you look at a guy like Kyrie Irving, that was born in Australia and having a fantastic first year. He's racking up big numbers from the assists, but still being able to find a way to be able to contribute at the offensive end.
Well, these young guys just come in with a completely different attitude as Tim Conrad knocks that one out of bounds, trying to get it off the rim. Yeah, there's no more that you got to pay your dues for a couple of years and understand your role. And these guys come into the league producing.
Not as much in Australia, though, Steve. You know, you'd want to see some of these young guys as Zach Carter lines up from 3. You'd love to see some of these young guys come in with some arrogance and be able to put some numbers on the board. Be able to go to the next level straight away.
That's true. I mean, you name a guy, and I'm sure you're going to be modest here, but you name a guy that came into the league like you did at 17, dropping 29. Joe Ingles hit 29 his first game, I know that. But that's probably about the only one. Andrew Vlahoff came into the league as Tyson Demos gets his runner and the finish. Yeah, that one will be credited to Tyson Demos, not Tim Conrad, who got the tip. I'll give you a chance to think about that. Who's come in and made an impact in the league straight away as Tommy Garlick has an opportunity to get the 3. Tyson Demos racks up a foul.